Something's been bothering me since Volume 4. It's not really the most important thing Rooster Teeth need to focus on, as there are still many issues with RWBY's writing and directing that are arguably much more important, but this has just been on my mind recently, so I figured I'd write up a discussion about it. Why do RT hate having small-dicked boys in this show? Jean has a small peen. Or rather, he had a small peen. But Volume 4 happened and suddenly it inflated large enough to rival Hazel, and it's only gotten bigger in Volume 7. Why? Why do the directors feel the need to expand Jean into a horse boy for no reason? I've had a couple of excuses for this volleyed at me before, so let's take a look at some of those. Jean's dick didn't get larger, his original pants were just acting as a cup and was tucking it in. If you truly think that, then you have no idea how dicks work. Jean is wearing relaxed fit jeans. There's no way for them to restrict his peen like how a cup would, and even if he did have a magic pair of tucking pants that could, well, we can tell that's not what's happening by looking at him. If he had a larger cock that was getting tucked back, we'd see some bulge. Clearly, that's not the case. I've also seen the argument of, his dick got bigger to represent that he's older and more mature, and that's a really dumb argument, because adult men can still have short dicks. A big cock isn't a guarantee as you age. This argument also implies that if you're smaller than 6 inches, you can't look mature, which is stupidly close-minded. There's no good reason for Jean's sudden penis enlargement, aside from the showrunners wanted the boys of Team Juniper to be hung, and that's it. And we can tell that this is a deliberate decision by watching the first episode of Volume 4. During the first half, he's still micro-sized, but then as he walks out with his new armor, we have to watch it balloon out. And I should be clear, I don't hate seeing characters with large cocks. Big dicks existing in the show is not the issue, but rather the fact that small dicks don't seem to be allowed at all. Ozpin, minimum inch length, but then the God of Light decided that when he reincarnates again, he needed 10 at least. Gotta give my champion a fat schlong. Adam, who wasn't even particularly small before, also has to get bigger. He got himself a new outfit and it came with penis enlargement pills. And honestly, the root of the problem doesn't even seem to be Rooster Teeth only wants guys with giant anacondas in this show, but rather, Rooster Teeth don't want to design boys with diverse character types. Let's take a second to look at some of the girls in RWBY. There's soft girls, strong girls, shy girls, mean girls, heroic girls, and everything in between. But if we look to the fellas in the show, it's a sea of self-insert protagonists. The only things that change between the boys are how huge are their dicks and how tall are they. I would be remiss to not mention that there are a few divergences from this norm, but those are reserved for the elderly and extras. The main cast, however, all have to conform to the same archetype, and honestly, I just don't understand why. The showrunners are clearly able to make characters with different tropes, so why are they reserved for ladies exclusively? RWBY's a show with a lot of diversity in it. Racial diversity, sexual diversity, gender diversity. So why are they hung up on this one thing? Is it really impossible to make a boy who's strong and defiant like Winter? Can the voice actors not handle a man who's more sassy like Maria? Does the script not allow for a guy who's as vapid as Robin? And even if it is too hard to design diverse archetypes for your male cast, must you also really insist on all of them having extra long dicks? Even the shittiest anime I've watched had a range of penis sizes between the boys. Why aren't small men allowed to play too? The only micro boy with substantial screen time was jettisoned from the show after 1 volume, and even then I think the only reason they gave him a smaller dick is because there was a specific note on his concept art that he's small. Because this is also the same company that will totally ignore the concept art for a character and transform them into a sexual fantasy for no reason. Too busy prioritizing the ogling of his ass and pecs over making an actually good fight scene. I really don't think what I'm asking for here is that outrageous of a request. Character diversity, or at least a variety of dick sizes. Not only is this long, fat batch a boring way to restrict your character design, but it also strips Ren of one of his very limited defining character traits. And I don't want to imply that the showrunners are perverts, or that they hate men who aren't hung, but I do think that they're being short-sighted on how they present their male cast. Because, as it is, there is the impression that in the world of RWBY, if you aren't 10 inches long, you aren't good enough to be a main character.
I'm sorry, Cinderella, you can't go to the ball. But I love balls! Oh.
Guys, look at these little bananas. They're so cute, look, they're not even as big as my hand, wow.
Those look pretty big to me. Above average. They're enormous. Pretty huge.